Let's get to the piano. Piano, we have one track, stereo, and it's this pink one. Let's solo it. The SSL is not doing anything. The saturation is Saturn. Fab filter is bypassing the low band. Is active in clean tape here in the low mid. Is bypassed in the mid range. And is active in clean tube in the high end. Let's hear it without. Especially when it hits the low notes, the saturation at the bottom end here at the low mid frequency is very noticeable. You hear there's a big difference right there in that note. Okay. After that we have the Kotelnikov compressor from FiveToTen lab. You can see the settings. It's not doing anything. It's doing what it does best, in my opinion, which is very transparent dynamic control. So very transparent. I love this one. And this is the free version, I think. And check it out and get it if you don't have it. They have a gentleman edition, which has more feature. It's definitely worth it. I'm gonna get it myself. The piano is then going to the music bus, which has more processing on. But let me mute this and I'll tell you what that is in a second. And on the music bus, which has only the piano in this case because there was no other instrument, we have SSL not doing anything. Pro and B, which in this case substitute my drummer multiband 1973. I don't remember what the settings were on the drummer, so I just, try to make it sound as close as possible to what it was. Listening to the mix, I thought something like this was probably going on, some control M boost in the low mid range and some top end, because I love the top end boost on the drummer. Then the Ozone Imager, one of my favorite stereo tools. This makes a big difference. Then the other noticeable thing is the top end with the Pultec. Without. And the EQ from Sound Toys. Very nice plugin. It was free when I got it. I don't know about now, but it's really nice. What a big difference. The saturation on this plugin is amazing. All Sound Toys makes is really, really good. I love them. But yeah, as you can see, the take-home message for this piano, since it was an electric piano, just one track, it needed to sound a lot bigger than it was. There's a lot of saturation going on. That's the take-home message. We have the Saturn on the track itself, and then on the output we have the EQ with the drive on, a lot of mids, top and bottom end boost with the Pultec, which is colored. And yes, but the trick on the piano was this. The music bus, which has only the piano, and then we'll take a look at the reverb, goes to this Octave send. And since this piano sound was a little skimpy, especially for being the only musical instrument here, I really needed to beef this piano up. So what I did is I sent basically the piano, even if from the music send it's just the piano, processed to this pitch track, which has a simple sound shifter from Waves, tuned 1 octave down. So basically we have the same piano track processed, 1 octave down, tucked in. Let me try to solo it. okay? If we listen to it by itself, it has a lot of artifacts and everything, but this is stuck in really low. So if we open the piano up, let's mute the pitch octave. Okay, it might be subtle, but it adds a lot of weight. Let's turn the volume up to see. So this is it's a pretty bold move to basically take a whole piano and turn it down 1 octave, but it's stuck in so low that it just add, I don't know, density to the sound of it, and you can't hear any artifacts on anything. So it's a nice trick. I gotta be honest, I use this on many things, sometimes on vocals, sometimes on electric guitars. It's something you can give a try to often with a lot of things, whether it's for special effects, whether it's for actual mixing. So I thought, you know, this was working well here. Now really quickly, the piano verb, the only reverb that we have on the piano is this piano hall. Nothing on the SSL. It's the classic studio reverb plate in this case. It's kind of an underrated reverb suite, if you ask me, this from IQ Multimedia. EQ on the way out. It adds depth, of course. It's a reverb. It adds some space. Let's turn it up. It's pretty nice, very bright, but not annoying. Let me try to solo it if I can. This is with the piano. Now let's get to our lead vocal. As you can see, like I said, dynamics change a lot from verse to chorus. We don't have much in the way of processing and plugins, but I did have quite some hardware on her vocals that I'm missing here. Specifically, I had my distressor on them and the expressor as a final, almost like a limiter on her vocal, and I tried to make it up with plugins, so we'll take a look at what we have, but yeah, hardware is missing. So let's try to solo the vocal. We have a verse.
Keep holding on, we only have peace. Keep holding on now, it is the right thing.
As you can see, I'm just gating a little bit and filtering with the SSL. The L1 is just there to catch occasional peaks. Let's try to go to this session and see if it's doing anything.
Keep holding on, yeah. But I want to know.
Okay, so L1, I think CLA use it that way before hitting the compressor, before hitting anything else, or going out from the converters. He uses the L1 this way, and it works. I didn't take him from him, but I think I saw him mentioning it. Now the verse vocal goes to the verse sum, where we have nothing really. Like I said, I use this aux track when I have more than one track that both sing the verse and they overlap. Nothing is doing anything here, not the SSL, not the Pro Q. This was from a template probably, not even.
Keep holding on, but I want to know.
A de-esser occasionally, but the bulk of the processing is on the lead vocal bus output. So
keep holding.
Removing some at 270. We have Pultec, which is not doing anything, just there for color.
Keep holding on, but I want to know.
and the main compressor here was the MJUC. I love it on female vocals.
Keep holding on, but I want to know. Keep holding on now. Keep holding on.
Then we have de-esser.
But I want to know. Keep holding on.
You can see the frequency and EQ.
But I want to know. Keep holding on now. People can find.
You can see there was a lot of energy down here below 50 that we didn't really need at all. So there's a quite steep cut, 30 dB cut. And around the same frequency, a little higher, we have a boost with the RS56.
But I want to know.
And then C6, which I love on vocals.
But I want to know. Keep holding on now.
The R compressor here is doing the work that my Expressor hardware was doing. So I tried to set it up kind of the same. It's not the same, but yeah.
But I want to know. Keep holding on.
This is how I used the Expressor on vocals. Very, very low ratio and just hitting the picks with fairly fast attack and release. Almost like a final limiter for vocals. But let's hear the vocal with and without all the chain here on the lead.
Keep holding on, but I want to know. Keep holding on now. People can find us. We've only pushed start. Let's escape from here, and now we're free.
Okay, a lot brighter, a lot cleaner. The MJUC, what can I say? It's such an amazing plugin, such an amazing sounding compressor. Every time I use it, I'm surprised, and in a positive way. It just sounds so good. And but keep in mind, guys, that this kind of vocal is never, I mean, the difference with and without plugins is a lot, but a vocal like this is never one track. And we are gonna see the effects, because especially in a sparse arrangement like this, effects on vocals is what make at least 50% of the sound. It's never the dry single track, okay? Although we don't have a dry single track, we have a double. So let's solo the double and then hear it with the vocal.
People can find us. We've only boosted.
And with all the plugins, sounds like this.
People can find us. We've only boosted. Let's escape from here, and now we're free.
Aside the volume change, you can see the SSL doing the filtering, cuts, and first compression.
People can find us.
The stereo effect is just a simple delay from Pro Tools. Let me bypass it.
People can find us. We've only boosted.
Now, since this is a double, so is another performance, I don't need to do anything to the left part in this case. Has no delay, is 0 milliseconds. I just moved the right side, by 25 milliseconds and lowered the volume of the left channel by 4 dB.
People can find us. We've only boosted.
That's enough for making it in stereo, not having phase problems really. De-esser after that.
People can find us. We've only boosted.
Make it very bright because it's stuck down. I wanted to keep the volume low but still add some air and some space to the main vocals being stereo. And then the R compressor is doing the compression.
People can find us. We've only boosted.
We want this double vocal to stay locked in, so compression all the time basically.
People can find us.
Can hear without.
We've only boosted. Let's escape from here, and now we're free.
Now, one thing to notice is the R compressor is in dual mono, because we are using the delay 25 milliseconds one side, and it's the same performance. So to keep it wide or make it wider even, I wanted to use I always use, actually, when I do something like this, compression and dynamic processing in dual mono.
People can find
Let's hear the lead vocal with the double.
People can find us. We've only pushed start. Let's escape from here.
Without.
People can find us. We've only pushed start. Let's escape from here. And now we're free.
Okay, so big difference, but remember this was a second performance. It wasn't a copy of the first track.